So before we delve into understanding tools, ideas, and concepts as they relate to future education, we need to have a clear understanding of what competencies are. Most often, the terms skills and competencies are used interchangeably, but there is a distinct difference between the two. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development defines competencies as more than just knowledge or skills. It involves the ability to meet complex demands by drawing on and mobilizing psychosocial resources, including skills and attitudes in a particular context. For example, the ability to communicate effectively is a competence that may draw on an individual's knowledge of language, practical IT skills, and attitudes towards those with whom he or she is communicating. Now, how do we identify key competencies? Well, with changing social context, there has been an enormous shift in how we value competencies. In the past, cognitive competencies, for example, critical thinking, analysis, were deemed to be essential for future success. However, now a greater emphasis is being placed on interpersonal and intrapersonal competencies. And this is emphasized by employers as well. Now, key competencies can be identified on the basis that they make a measurable contribution to educational attainment, relationships, employment, and health and well-being outcomes, and do so for all individuals, not only those in a specific trade, occupation, or walk of life. Now, here are a few examples of the most prominent 21st century competencies, which are critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity and innovation. So critical thinking involves the ability to acquire, process, interpret, rationalize, and critically analyze large volumes of often conflicting information to the point of making an informed decision and taking action in a timely fashion. Communication refers to the ability to communicate effectively, orally, in writing, and with a variety of digital tools, and it also refers to listening skills. Collaboration requires the ability to work in teams, learn from and contribute to the learning of others, use social networking skills, and demonstrate empathy in working with diverse others. Creativity and innovation is described as the pursuit of new ideas, concepts, or products that meet a need in the world.
So to reach this 21st century competency, there is a new thing which is STEAM education, which really is an extension of the STEAM that we're used to, but it adds the arts into it. So it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. STEAM education expands this definition to the fundamental philosophies that all disciplines can and should relate to each other to provide students with the big picture of how a wide variety of knowledge and skill sets tie into each other in the real world. In other words, technology use does not exclusively relate to the advancing of science and engineering. STEAM education is about engaging students in a multi and interdisciplinary learning context that values the humanities and the artistic activities, while breaking down the barriers that have traditionally existed between the different classes and subjects. So STEAM has widely been accepted as the way forward to just collaborate all the different educations and not just look at math, science, English as separate subjects, but actually combine them together to show the real world examples. So the Horizon report also goes through some of the challenges that we will face when incorporating STEAM into our classrooms, but they also came up with certain solutions. So one of the challenges is that we need to change the teaching practices and pedagogies. So we need to see teachers as a facilitator role. In the Horizon report, it says it is rapidly evolving landscape of technology and pedagogy. Schools are being challenged to rethink the role of teachers. Employing strategies such as flipped classroom and other hybrid approaches inherently changes the function of teachers during classes. So it's basically seeing teachers more as a facilitator rather than standing in the front of the classroom and giving knowledge. Also, another challenge is differentiation and universal design for learning. But so we have to cater to each learners by providing customized opportunity and support required careful implementations. Another thing the article says is that we need to change our policies. We need to incorporate technology education into teacher training programs, and we need to encourage integration of technologies and pedagogies into the classroom. And one of the ways the article suggested was by giving out digital awards to school, which can encourage them to use more technologies. So why STEAM? The number one thing is it increases complex thinking. It teaches the skills of the 21st century competencies. So one of the things is coding, which many research nowadays have shown that really teaches a lot of different skills, reasoning, analytical skills, and it helps students to construct, hypothesize, explore, and experiment, and evaluate and draw conclusions. And many studies have shown that these kind of activities actually prepare the students for success in the future.
Next, we will talk about the important developments in education, technology for K to 12. There are 7 categories of technologies, tools, and strategies. These strategies are used to organize technologies that are relevant to learning and creative inquiry. Technologies are being updated and added to these categories in almost every research cycle. Listed below are the 7 categories and the many forms of technologies that can be used in each category. So the first category is consumer technologies. Examples of this are 3D video, drones, electronic publishing, robotics, tablet computing, wearable technology, etc. The second one is digital strategies, such as BYOD, flipped classroom, location intelligence, maker spaces, and other forms of technologies. The next one, internet technology, which is examples are cloud computing, network objects. Fourth, learning technologies. Some of these include adaptive learning, mobile learning, online learning, and virtual and remote laboratories. Fifth, social media technologies, online identity, social networks. The sixth one is the visualization technologies, and some examples of these are information visualization, 3D printing, visual data analysis. And last but not least, the 7th category is enabling technologies. Some examples of this are effective computing, new field communication, virtual assistants, etc. So there can be more examples now in these categories. So we are all makers. This Horizon reports give a look into education technology and the future of education. So here are the 6 developments in educational technology. These 6 developments were selected by the project's expert panel using the MC Horizon project through research, discussion, and voting. So these were all decided based on experts in what kind of technology will be driving the future of technology forward. These potentially have the possibility to make real changes to our teaching pedagogies as well as our learning strategies. So the next section is the 6 developments in education, as long as a short discussion on their role in future education. So the first one is bring your own device. So this one has been implemented already. It says 1 year or less. So this, as we know, is to bring your own device. This is important for future education because it allows for student-centered learning to take place. Makerspaces, time to adoption horizon, 1 year or less. We've seen many makerspaces in our school, and it has already taken place in our current education. So the root of makerspaces come from the makerspace movement, which includes artists, engineers, tech enthusiasts, builders, and thinkers who just want to make something. So these implications have this category has real implications on the future of education because it allows students to get ready for the real world. The third one, 3D printing. So we'll see this in 2 to 3 years. 3D printing is often used to build prototypes that has any 3D dimensions. So this can have a large impact on the future of education because it allows for students to have a deeper understanding in all learning areas because they're able to see it right in front of them, which is really helpful for the level of engagement and understanding. The fourth is adaptive learning technologies. So there are 2 levels of adaptive learning technology. The first platform reacts to individual user data, and the second is data across a large sample of users for insight into design and adaptation of the curricula. These new platforms are extremely important because who focus on customizing the lessons and learning strategies for each individual. Second last one, digital badges. So we'll see this implemented in 4 to 5 years. Digital badges are used to provide certification for different types of learning, sort of like how we see in Girls and Boy Scouts when they earn a badge as merit. When they complete something, this will be the same in the online world. This will have a role in future education because instead of receiving traditional grades or traditional report cards or credits, students will receive digital badges. So the last development, wearable technology. So this will be big in 4 to 5 years. Wearable technology has real beneficial implications for education, especially when it comes to students with physical disabilities. For example, Georgia Institute of Technology is developing a tongue magnet that can control wheelchairs, computers, and smartphones to support individuals with severe spinal cord injuries. These kinds of technologies play a serious role in effective universal design and providing for the needs of all. So that is our Horizon Report. Thank you very much for listening.